We always decide what our Pokemon do in battle, but what if they had most of the control? Today, I'm attempting a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Fire Red with a twist. It's regular hardcore Nuzlocke rules, except the nicknames must now be actions in the game, like attack, switch, and heal. If a Pokemon faints, I can no longer use whichever action, which was his nickname. I call this an action lock. So can I beat a Pokemon Fire Red hardcore action lock? Let's find out. We begin our adventure in Pallet Town. In Professor Oak's lab, we select the best starter, Bulbasaur, and name him Switch. If Bulbasaur were to ever go down, we will not be able to switch any of our Pokemon, no matter how bad the matchup. So yeah, we need to be careful. On Route 1, we catch Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, who we name Heal, which you can guess what we can't do if he dies. And on Route 22, Run, Route 2, Setup, and in Viridian Forest, a lucky Pikachu named Catch. It's Pikachu! The Brock fight was stupid easy, as you can imagine, with the best starter. Brock leads with his Geodude as I send in Switch, who quickly violates this Geodude with a Vine Whip. Out next is Brock's Onix, and after squeezing me with the bind, we hit a Vine Whip that crits the Rock Snake, winning us the first gym badge. On our way to Cerulean City, we find Status on Route 3. In Mount Moon, Switch evolves and we make it to Misty. Before our battle with her, Heal evolves into a goofy looking Raticate, Setup into Pidgeotto, and Status into Nidorino. But thanks to the Moonstone from Mount Moon, we're able to fully evolve him into the short king himself, Nidoking. Misty leads with her Staryu as I send out Catch. A Thundershock brings a Starfish into the yellow as it just sets up a useless Harden, allowing one more to take it out. Outlast is her Starmie, and silly me thought I'd outspeed, but nope, we get hit hard with the Water Pulse that confuses. Now that's a lot of damage! But thankfully we're able to break through and hit a depressingly low damage Thundershock. I switch to Switch to make sure that I don't lose my ability to catch things and take minimal damage from a Swift. Another Swift brings us into the yellow as we connect with a Leech Seed that allows us, after taking Swift damage, to bring it deep into the red with a Vine Whip, and the Leech Seed damage finishes it off, winning us the second gym badge. Leech Seed is definitely going to come in clutch this run. We make our way into Viridian City to take on Surge, but before that, we get the Old Rod and catch Debuff, and I have a sneaking suspicion that this fight is going to be cake. Damn it. There we go. After spending way too much time with the gym puzzle, we begin our fight with Surge. He leads with Voltorb, and I send out Status. And despite there being a literal shadow where this Voltorb is, it is not actually floating. So we're able to one-shot it with a Dig. Out next is Pikachu, and despite his annoying double team, we connect with a Dig, taking out the mouse. Last out is Raichu, and despite him being faster and setting up not one, but two double teams, Status connects with a Dig, taking him out and winning us the third gym badge. Oh, that's petty. You really paralyzed me as your parting gift? What a dick. In Lavender Town, the rival fight was tough. He leads with Pidgeotto as I send out Switch, which was a dumb mistake because he always leads with this stupid bird. Sorry, Setup. We switch into Catch on a Gust that doesn't do very much damage, and after doing about a third with a Thundershock, he lowers our accuracy with a Sand Attack, and then we proceed to miss Thundershock. I switch into Status, who eats a Quick Attack, which activates his Poison Point, poisoning the bird, and a Thrash is able to take him out the next turn. Execute is out next, and after eating a Thrash, he puts us to sleep with Hypnosis. I switch to Setup, who gets Leech Seeded on the way in, but is able to take him out with a couple of Gusts. Kadabra comes out, and after hitting a Sand Attack, we switch into Heal on a Disable, and we're able to one-shot him with a Hyper Fang. The next turn, Gyarados takes the field. I switch to Switch on a Thrash, and the next turn I go for a Leech Seed before getting taken down deep into the red with a second round of Thrashes. I switch into Heal on another Thrash, and then attack with a Hyper Fang, but we miss. And he doesn't hit himself, taking a stupid low with another Thrash. This thing is a menace. I switch into Status, and of course he doesn't hit himself, but we take the Thrash really well. The following turn he snaps out of confusion and hits another one, but thankfully we get some luck and Poison Point activates. We finally wake up and take him out with a Thrash, and we're able to hit two more on the Charmeleon, taking him out as well. Thank goodness for Leech Seed. It was slowly chipping away at that menace of a Gyarados. Arriving into Celadon City, we absolutely body Erica. Her lead victory bell versus Setup, and despite eating an Aerial Ace, paralyzing, and covering Setup with acid, she takes it out no problem. Tangela suffers the same fate after only doing some damage with Constrict. Last out is her Vileplume, and after getting dropped to below half, we switch around, and after her heals, take it out with Heal, winning us the 5th gym badge. I accidentally found an Eevee that I never knew was actually here, and we name it Evolve. I think that's like the most fitting of all the names. After clearing out Giovanni's lair, where Clutch Sleet Seed took out the Kangaskhan, we catch Attack. In Silphco, Switch and Setup both evolve. We body Rick and beat Giovanni again with, you guessed it, a Clutch Leech Seed. Freaking love this move. I truly can never lose Status. I'd be in shambles. It's time for Sabrina. Her and Koga share the same level cap, so it doesn't doesn't really matter who we face first. She leads with Kadabra as I send out Attack. And let me tell you, this was the Attack show. She goes for a Future Sight and Attack obliterates him with a crit body slam. Mr. Mime comes out second and despite using Barrier, falls to 2 body slams. Next out is Venomoth, and after taking pitiful damage from a Future Sight, she hits us with a Psy Beam that confuses, but we break through, leaving her deep into the red. She's going to heal, and in my attempt to rest, we hit ourselves. The following turn, we break free from confusion and are able to wrest away all Attack's pain and suffering, and after putting her to sleep from our Sleep Talk's yawn, we're able to wake up and hit a body slam that gets a crit, taking her out. Last out is her Ace Alakazam, and just like all her other Pokemon, goes down to Attack's big old belly, winning us the 4th gym badge, 5 badges total so far. I'm right behind you. The battle against Koga was dumb, mainly because I'm dumb, but like hopefully like funny dumb. He leads with Coughing as I send out Status. A couple of thrashes take out the Coughing, and out comes Muk. Status then proceeds to hit himself in confusion as Muk sets up a Minimize, and the following turn it happens again and again. This time he actually sets up his defense. As I'm finally able to snap out of confusion, we dig down, but as you can guess, we miss. I continuously spam dig as he continues to set up, but despite all his best efforts, we do connect enough to take him out with the crit dig. Someone give me those odds, like hitting a crit dig at +5 Minimize. Yeah, it made no sense to do this because we literally have Aerial Ace on setup, but hey, we were in too deep already. Coughing comes out, and like the first one, we take him out with a couple of thrashes. We have one more turn of thrash, so as Weezing hits the field, we have to go for one more. Weezing comes out, and we're forced to go for one more thrash, and he gets us to 20 HP with a tackle. Status has done more than enough, and we switch into Switch to Leech Seed him, and switch into Attack to take him into the red with a body slam, allowing our Lord and Savior, Leech's Christ, to take him out, preventing him from healing and winning us the 6th gym badge. Did I mention that I love Leech Seed? Blaine is our next hurdle to cross. He leads with Growlithe, and I send out Status. Despite his Intimidate, we're able to one-shot with a dig. Next out is Ponyta, who we promptly drown with a Surf, and then next out is his big brother Rapidash, who after barely surviving a Surf, hits us with a Fire Blast that burns us in the process. He heals with the Hyper Potion as we get him back into the red, and heals again the following turn, but this time Status one-shots thanks to a critical hit. His last Pokemon is Arcanine, and with us being at such low HP, and with the attack stat of a Wet Pool Noodle, I have to switch. I send an Attack who avoids a Fire Blast on the way in. The following turn, he annoyingly connects with a Fire Blast that of course burns, which only allows us to do about a third with Body Slam. Another Fire Blast connects, not doing too much damage as we go for a Yawn. I switch into HMTM on a Fire Blast that misses on the turn that he goes to sleep, and as he uses his full heal, we use Perish Song, allowing us to stall him out, winning us the 7th gym badge. We immediately head to the final gym, where it's time for our final rematch against Giovanni, and this fight was cake. Status drowns the Rhyhorn, Switch then drains each one of Dugtrio's heads, and after some swapping, Status comes out to drown the Nidoqueen. He then asserts his dominance on his Nidoking by drowning it as well, and finally drowns that last stupid Rhino, winning us the final gym badge and getting us the TM for EQ, the GOAT of all moves. It's time to head to the Elite Four, and with no losses, I'm feeling good. This is the first time I think I've made it this far in a run with no losses, and I intend to keep it this way. Our final team consists of Status with Poison Sting, EQ, Surf, and Strength. HMTM with Ice Beam, Body Slam, Rain Dance, and Perish Song. Attack with Body Slam, Yawn, Rest, and Sleep Talk. Catch with Thunderbolt, Thunder, Light Screen, and Thunder Wave. Switch with Giga Drain, Toxic, Leech Seed, and Synthesis. And finally, set up with Aerial Ace, Sand Attack, Fly, and Quick Attack. Yeah, his moves suck, but it's okay. Lorelei, the Ice-type trainer, is first. She leads with her Dugong Gong Gong as I send out HMTM. She uses Safeguard as I set up the Rain. I then switch into Catch as she sets up the Hail, taking away my Rain. Great. Well, there goes my plan of 100% accurate Thunders. I just go for Light Screen as she hits a Surf, and the following turn, we connect with a Thunder that freaking crits, taking her out. What a goated Pikachu. She sends out Oyster, and I switch into HMTM as she just goes for Protect. She goes for another Protect as I use Perish Song, and then another Protect as I set up the Rain. She then gets rid of my Rain with freaking Hail as I switch into Catch. God, she's annoying. Her Perish Song count goes to 1, making her switch into Slowbro as I set up another Light Screen. Then promptly switches to HMTM on a Surf. A Body Slam doesn't do too much damage, and then we end up setting up another Perish Song. I switch into Attack after getting hit by a Yawn as she goes for another Yawn, predicting my switch. She then switches into Cloyster on 1 turn left of Perish Song as we use Sleep Talk, getting her Cloyster drowsy as it just sets up Hail. Another Sleep Talk is useless, and after a couple of turns, we finally wake up, hitting a body slam that does almost half, and after her healing, a barrage of body slams take it out. Her weakened Slowbro comes in on an overkill crit body slam, and we're pretty much able to body slam everything else, winning us the first Elite Four battle. Snorlax kinda OP. Sheesh. Next up is Bruno, who leads with an Onix that just gets drowned by a Surf, and his second Onix also suffers the same fate. Third out is Hitmonlee, who just gets bodied by an EQ. Machamp comes out, and after eating an EQ, doesn't quite go down to another Surf and EQ combo, so I switch into setup on his healing turn, and hit an Aerial Ace that doesn't quite do half, as a Rock Tomb brings us to half. I swap him for Switch, and after he misses Rock Tomb, we hit a Leech Seed and a Giga Drain to put him to the point where I can stall him with Synthesis until Leech Seed takes him out. Hitmonchan is last, and after using Toxic, we're able to slowly chip away at him with Poison and Leech Seed damage until he goes down to one final Giga Drain. Next on the chopping block is Granny Agatha. She leads with her Gengar as I lead with HMTM. She goes for a double team, but it doesn't matter since we use Pear Song, and after her second double team, we use Rain Dance. I switch to Catch on a Confuse Ray, she then switches into Golbat as we punch ourselves in the face, and the following turn barely miss out on the KO with a Thunder, as we take a good bit of damage from Poison Fang and get poisoned. On her healing turn, I send out HMTM, and we're able to break through confusion, taking it out with an Ice Beam. Gengar comes out and tries to ruin our day with a Toxic, but we avoid it, setting up a Pear Song in the process. We then swap into Switch as she uses a double team, and after one more, we use Leech Seed that actually connects somehow. What? I was sure that was gonna miss. On the turn I know she's going to switch, I go for a Leech Seed that connects with her Haunter. I then switch into HMTM on a Mean Look, so no Perish Song stuff this time. We then get put to sleep with the Hypnosis, and here comes the annoying part, because she has Dream Eater, and HMTM refused to freaking wake up. Thank goodness for Leech Seed, because she would have gone down without it. I finally wake up and hit an Ice Beam that brings her deep into the red, and enough for our GOAT Leech Seed to take it out. Gengar comes back out, and after getting Toxic, I switch into Setup, who was able to get him low with an Aerial Ace before she switches into Arbok. I send in Status, who is able to one-shot her with EQ, and her second Gengar comes out, and I get put to sleep. I swap into Switch on a Shadow Ball and hit her with a Leech Seed, and after healing some with Synthesis, I switch into Attack and get put to sleep, and for some reason, I thought, she's definitely gonna go for Shadow Ball on my normal type. Let me switch into Setup to avoid the damage. Well, we lose Setup to a Sludge Bomb. It's not awful since we don't have any setup moves, but still strips us from the Deathless run. I send out Status, who after one turn of sleep wakes up and hits a Surf to take her out, and since the other Gengar is slower, we're able to take it out with a Surf as well, winning us the third Elite Four battle. Man, Agatha was freaking tough. Lance. He leads with his Gyarados, and I lead with HMTM. He goes for Dragon Rage as I set up a Rain Dance. The following turn, I switch into Catch on another Dragon Rage and proceed to body the giant shrimp with a Thunder. Next out is Dragonair, and after eating two Outrages, HMTM is able to one-shot it with an Ice Beam. Aerodactyl comes in, so I switch into Status on a weak Ancient Power, and I'm able to two-shot it with a Surf. Big Goofy Dragon is next, so I send an attack and get read like a book when he uses Safeguard as I use Yawn. After getting nowhere with attack, I switch into HMTM that takes way too much damage from a wing attack. I then switch back into attack on an Outrage, and after getting a lucky Sleep Talk and it hitting itself in confusion, a Body Slam takes it out. Last up is Dragonair, and after paralyzing us and us staying paralyzed too much, we're finally able to take it out with a couple of Body Slams, winning us the fourth Elite Four battle. Lance stood no chance. The champion Rick, our stinky rival from the beginning, here for one last battle. Will we come out on top, or will we lose our stride here at the end? Let's find out. Rick leads with his Pidgeot as I send out HMTM. An Aerial Ace does minimal damage as we obliterate him with an Ice Beam. Next is Rhydon, and after eating a Rock Tomb on the way in, Switch sucks off his horn, taking him out. Alakazam is next. I switch into attack on a Psychic, and despite him setting up a Reflect, we're able to take him out thanks to a Body Slam crit. Executor takes the field. He hits an Egg Bomb that doesn't do very much damage, but neither does our Body Slam, thanks to his Reflect. He then puts us to sleep the following turn with a Sleep Powder. I send in Switch on an Egg Bomb and hit a Toxic as another one takes us low. He then hits us with a Sleep Powder on Switch, which I forgot he's actually able to hit this here. Switch has a clutch Wake Up, and we hit a Giga Drain as Toxic brings him to just a freaking sliver. He then heals as we go for another Toxic, and after some stalling and me dropping the ball going for Synthesis instead of damage, he heals again.
After stalling some, switching around, and taking way too much damage than I needed to,
we switch into HMTM to take him down with the singular Ice Beam.
I should have just done that from the beginning. He sends in his second Gyarados, and after setting up a rain dance with HMTM, I'm about to switch in the catch, but I realized I allowed it to get super low, so I couldn't switch into anything. After some long contemplating, I decide to sacrifice status to get catch in to take him out with a singular thunder. No. He survives on a sliver, biting our little mouse, taking him out. Now, though I can't use status moves like Toxic, Thunder Wave, and Leech Seed, and even Para's Song, the strats that helped me get this far, I send in HMTM as he heals with his full restore. His endless damn supply of full restores. We hit an Ice Beam that does almost half, and the following turn, he hits a Thrash that gets us into the red, as my Ice Beam gets him into the yellow, and he gets frozen. Oh my god. Another Ice Beam takes him out, and we're in the home stretch, baby. Now just a smelly fire lizard to get through. My issue is now that I have no one to switch into. If I send in switch, then of course I can no longer switch if things get dicey. Not that that matters though, because things are looking rough anyways. I definitely can't send an attack because if he gets KO'd, the run's just over. HMTM must fall, but she was the most goated Lapras of them all. I send in switch, but of course he gets outsped and gets taken out by a fire blast. This run is now solely reliant on attack, who is not so unfortunately asleep. He goes for a slash that does 38 damage as our Sleep Talk gets a body slam that does pretty much half, and we get the paralysis. He's doing it. He's really doing it. I need to heal. I go for a rest as we remain asleep, but he remains fully paralyzed. Again, I go for a rest, but we stay asleep, but he's somehow still paralyzed. All my luck is being used here. I need to wake up. Attack finally wakes up and goes back to sleep to heal as we get hit by a weak slash. Sleep Talk doesn't do anything for us, but he misses Fire Blast, stalling yet another turn. Our final Sleep Talk does nothing as another slash chips away at us. We finally do wake up and get him deep into the red as a Fire Blast does a good chunk of damage, but Rick's downfall comes from a Citrus Berry that takes him out of potion healing range, allowing us to hit a final body slam, taking him out, winning us the run. Wow, that ending was intense. It truly had my heart racing recording it. I really enjoyed this kind of challenge. It was super fun and hopefully unique enough versus all the other Nuzlocks that are out there. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. And until next time, bye.